One,
Ready?
two,
One,
three.
two, three.
Oh, wait, we did her.
1, 2, 3. Wait.
That was at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, not even at all. Hey guys, today I'm sitting down with Iz Harris, who is one of the founders of Bright Trip, and she has an entire course on our platform about how to travel with kids. And so today is just gonna be like a super casual interview. It's kind of a long form thing where we're just chilling and talking, and we can hear all about Iz's experience traveling with kids and talking about where she learned all these things and kind of what's in the course. So I'm just gonna quickly cut into that interview and let you guys enjoy. You had kids when you were really young, and you had traveled before you had kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
But I traveled way more after kids than I did before kids. You know, even in the first few years after kids, I had more travel experience than I did pre-kids.
Did you think that that was going to be the case?
No. I mean, I didn't think our whole life was going to be the way that it was, but, you know, traveling overseas, it wasn't something I grew up doing. It was not a part of my world. It was not a part of my upbringing at all. And so I don't even think I had the, ability to foresee the way that our life has gone and, how we've raised our boys and how we have traveled the world with them. I just had no frame of reference for something like that at all, you know? I didn't even know, I didn't know about vloggers or travel bloggers or anything. Those things that were happening, I was so naive and unaware.
Do you feel like family travel or travel with kids is properly represented in social media, or do you feel like it's often faked, or do you think it's, I don't know, do people have accurate expectations of what it's like?
You know, that's a broader question, which is more actually, do I think travel is accurately reflected? And the answer to that would be no. It's actually something that I think inspired the start of Bright Trip, and I think I'm correct in saying has inspired team members like you to come on board. The idea of portraying travel in a way that is relatable to real life travelers, and that includes real life parents who travel. I don't fault the creators for that. You know, they're putting their lives out there, and so of course everything has a little bit more of a kind of tied with a bow thing, and I do think I wanted to kind of break that, and I didn't know not to. I didn't know enough about being online to edit moments out. So this moment behind me, actually, I don't know if you can see, but we're in the white cities of Spain, and O had just on camera grabbed the orange juice and he completely dumped it on himself. I don't know, it didn't cross my mind that I wouldn't include that in. So no, I don't think it's accurately reflected, but part of that is how are you gonna think to grab a camera when your kid's having a tantrum? Because they will when you're traveling, so part of it is just it's kind of difficult to capture, and part of it is just the way social media is. We don't talk about the messiness, and actually that is something that in our travel with kids course was a major focus, was the messiness, things you don't really hear about, that there are going to be, sick kids and accidents on airplanes, and you will end up with spit up or some other fluid all over you at some point in the middle of a flight. And we really looked at kind of our years and years and years of travel experience with these boys and pulled from that to try to present an accurate, almost arsenal of tools for someone to go and do this on their own.
Do you think that the misrepresented version of travel with family or kid travel makes it more daunting for parents to travel with kids, since they feel like it has to be done in this picture perfect way?
Yeah, I think that makes it more daunting. And then we say multiple times in this course and on this channel and as a company, that we're not talking about just overseas. we're talking about like setting up a tent in your backyard. That can be your practice run. Like going on a 2-hour road trip to a town you've never been to for one night, overnight stay. There's so many practice runs and there's so many budget-friendly ways that you as a family can travel that apply all the same like rules and stepping stones and mindsets. And I think that that's something too, like where families don't feel like they can travel, whether it's a budget thing or a logistics thing, or they're just scared, and
Right.
so they don't even try this like smaller trips, the road trips or the day trips or the, overnight trips.
How did you navigate? Like you said, you traveled more after you had kids, which you didn't expect. And so for people who are like having kids and nervous of like, how soon can I travel with little ones, or how am I going to pay for this, or like what are things that you've learned that could be helpful for them?
Oh man, I think back to our first trip, and our son, our older son has autism, so we were traveling with our this is our first overseas trip. So we went to Italy, and our youngest was 6 months. Then Henry, our oldest, he would have been 3 years old. He had never slept outside of a crib. He had never he was non-verbal at that point, so our communication was based off of these like picture cards. He had a big need for routine and a tendency towards kind of rigidity within that routine. And I had no idea how it was going to go. And we get on this plane. I didn't sleep a wink. Like, just don't even, that's one of the things we talk about. Like, travel with kids is a game of setting expectations and setting them nice and low. And that doesn't mean it's not going to be fantastic, but it's like, you set yourself up for failure expecting that it's going to be travel without kids. In the same way that it's not going to be travel without kids in those like, you're going to relax on the plane, you're going to watch a movie, you're going to rest. Yeah, those things won't happen. But it's also like, it's true on the other side of things where it's like travel without your kids also means you're not seeing that place through their eyes, and you're not seeing them like play with like local children in Italy on a playground and like not even mind a language barrier, and you're not talking about them, these places with them for years to come. So, it goes both ways, but that trip, it was such an incredible thing. I have this memory of getting on a train, and we were using this like picture board schedule to help Henry, understand like after you have to sit and eat, we'll go on the train. He was obsessed with trains. So we were just like, okay, we can like hop these villages and use the train as a way to like help him adjust and feel comfortable and feel excited. And it just blows my mind, like all of the ways that he rose to the occasion and exceeded our expectations and actually thrived on much of the chaos and newness of that experience. And it honestly grew me up in a lot of ways as a parent, and it shifted our entire, family culture and future. So I think my advice, I guess, would be give it a try. It might not be for you. Like that's okay too. But at least give it a try and go in with reasonable expectations that it's not going to be travel without kids, but that a lot of beauty comes from it being travel with kids, That would be my advice. And, I break down more of the step by step and here's what you should have with you. Here's what you should pack. Here's how you should pack. Here's what you should get in terms of like toys or snacks, or like, these are the most important things. Here's how you should schedule things out. Those are all really, really important. But the biggest thing is giving yourself an opportunity to figure out if it is something that you want to be a part of your family culture,
I'm curious if you've seen benefits post-travel even. Like, obviously on the trips you get to experience these things and learn things with them. But, like, do you see any effect in, like, who they are as a person when you're at home, like, from your experiences of traveling?
Yes. One of the major things, and it wasn't just us, it was Henry's teachers and his therapists as well, that we noticed was He would always have a massive surge in learning and curiosity and kind of awareness of his surroundings and like comfort within those, but also both of them actually have really benefited from the show that can be travel. Both of them, kids really, really love routine, and they like their routine, and they like, our youngest actually almost more than Henry, like clings to his routine. What happens is normally when we're traveling, those things kind of go away. I notice that they're way more adaptable. They're way more way less reliant on kind of those routines and things going a certain way, because travel, just like it pushes us to be a little bit more like comfortable with going with the flow, it pushes kids in the same way, and we address that too, where it's important to be aware of both sides. Like, again, they come home and there's these amazing benefits of them being a little bit more laissez-faire, but then it's important to remember that they are experiencing the same kind of chaos and stress that we experience when we go to a new place, and to build in kind of breaks and moments for them to process that.
Whereas most of your travel experience happened after you had kids, I was the beneficiary of my parents taking me when I was really young. And so
yeah,
I know that your kids will be so grateful in the future. And like, I feel like even from a super young age, it helped me have like this global perspective that was much more than just like my little hometown. Even small trips that are like still within the US or still within my own country or whatever, are so helpful.
I love hearing that. That makes me so happy. I think that's such a fascinating experience to have had too. It's so different than my upbringing, and I do wonder, like, what is this going to be like for them? Like, that certain things are normal that just absolutely weren't for me. I just, they're going to have this kind of awareness of how small they are in the world, and I think that's probably the thing that excites me most, is just having that perspective of our culture is our culture, our societal culture, even our family culture, but it isn't the culture. I feel really excited about them being exposed to that notion early on. Do you feel like there are any like cornerstones or things that you kind of feel about yourself were shaped by your early travel experiences?
Yeah, I think so. I come from a very like homogenous state of belief system and like ethnicity and everything. And so being like traveling from a really early age all over the world and seeing that like not everyone believes the same way I do, and not everyone looks the same way I do. It made it so that when I did come back home and interacted with people who looked and believed and acted like me, I still operated with a different understanding that like this isn't the universal one way that we all talk to each other, and this isn't just the one way that things work. And so I think it's a perspective that like, has definitely influenced, how I approach my own beliefs and things like that. So I definitely feel like travel from a young age has like shaped, things as deep as my belief system, for sure.
We talked a little bit early on in this conversation about that idea that like most people feel like the travel is dead once you've had kids. Like, it's over, it's done with, unless you have a family member that can like cover the kids, or, childcare, some setup. One of the things that I wanted to encourage in sharing our travels, in creating this course, in documenting, travel with kids in my show with Eater, and having that included, was this idea that you can still do this, and that you can still have that part of yourself and that part of your identity, and that doesn't need to end just because you brought 2 little, 3 little, however many little lives into this world. Like, for me, it's been so empowering to keep that part of myself. And is it more chaotic? Yes, especially when I'm producing something like that is journalistic in nature. It is much more chaotic. Or I'm producing a course. It's much more chaotic. But the benefits far outweigh, the negatives. And I think what I would say is, as we've learned we've gotten so much better at it. And we are like truly like a well-oiled machine now. And I just like have so much pride in these moments where I see my kids like literally running down, you know, the like runway, what's that called? Like the little ramp. They like
To the airplane.
get their little, yeah, they get their ticket scan. They run down, they find their seats. They're like counting the numbers. They get buckled. They're waiting. They know that they can't have their screen until we're like up in the air because I really want them to take in like the moment of takeoff and all of that. And Henry knows turbulence and all of these things. Like there's just so much wonder, and there's so much wonder in seeing it through their eyes. And I would encourage anyone to give it a try. Give it a try, but take our course because you will learn a lot of do's and do nots. But give it a try. Give it a try in a small way or a big way. Just see how your kids respond, and they might really surprise you. And you might surprise yourself, you know?
Thank you so much for talking to me today. I think that everyone will love this.
Of course. Thank you for making great stuff and being a part of the team.
Thank you guys for watching. If you want to find that whole course, you can go over to brighttrip.com and find the Travel with Kids course. We also have a bunch of other stuff on the platform, and so we'd love to see you over there. See ya.